Hello, my beautiful and talented people. Thank you again to everybody who's been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and booking readings. I've decided to do another recommendation today, which is should you move on and find someone else? We have pile number 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Take a moment, figure out which one is right for you. In the meantime, I want to thank everybody who's liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and booking readings. And if you do want a free reading, I'm going to give away 2 as soon as I hit 10,000 subscribers. So just make sure that you are subscribed and you comment and you're in the running for that. Thank you so much to all of you. I deeply appreciate you. It's time to move on to pile number 1. So pile number 1, my gorgeous darlings. Should you move on and find someone else? We have pile number 1. Should you move on and find someone else? We have the Page of Wands. Should you move on and find someone else? Should you move on and find someone else? Should you move on and find someone else? So we have the Page of Wands, which is an optimistic person. Can be a young person, somebody who's very fiery, but for me, it seems to be the most optimistic card, like a person who's optimistic. Could occasionally be naive, but it looks like there is a connection that's not healthy, and it looks like there is a lot of conflict. A lot of not being on the same page. And we have somebody that's very optimistic, and we have a brand new beginning that's honest, clear, and just not dealing with this level of drama. So just with this first 4 cards, I think that there's an indication that as much as you may feel connected, it's not something to be that you can healthily be connected to. And we have a new beginning, so should you start over and you have a new beginning there. It does feel like this is going to be something hard potentially to move on from, because it does seem to be something that it feeds a part of you. It's just not necessarily the healthiest part of you. So let's talk about the Devil. We need to talk about the Devil. We have the King of Wands. I feel like somebody who takes actions about what they're passionate about, or maybe just, again, I feel like this is somebody that you do have a lot of passion, a lot of passionate connection with. But the question is it healthy? And it doesn't look like there's a healthy connection with whoever this person is. We have the Five of Wands, and then we have the Temperance card. This is often, obsessions, addictions, fears keeping you in place, something that is an unhealthy thing. Temperance is, not going too overboard. Temperance is like having peace, calm, harmony. So it looks like you deserve to have peace and harmony, and you find conflict with this person. Clarity on the Page of Wands. It looks like your optimism may be keeping you captive in something that is not necessary, that isn't healthy for you. Like Temperance card is like, not too many highs and not too many low lows. It's, harmonious, it's balanced, it's healthy. The Devil is, dramatic, and it feeds a part of you, but not the healthy part. And we have the new beginning. Clarity on the new beginning, something that's clear, something that is honest. 5 of Cups. So, in order to have something that a new beginning that is clear and honest. You have to look away from what has been lost so that you can see what can actually be balanced for you. I am getting, like, if this truly doesn't feel like your pile, feel free to choose another one. But it looks like the connection that you're currently in, there's a lot of there's passion, but there isn't health. And that there may be optimism that things are going to get better, but the new beginning where things are honest and clear and, where there can be a harmonious relationship might not be in what you are looking at, but what you have to grieve so that you can have the Two of Cups that you actually deserve. We have the Ten of Pentacles in the book, so that I pulled specifically to clarify that card. I feel like you want the Ten of Pentacles. You want something that will be dependable, something that will last the test of time, something that can be prosperous. And we have the book, which is knowledge. And again, we have focusing. This seems very clear that to get the Ten of Pentacles, you need to refocus what you're focusing on. And again, the devil came up not once but twice. So there is something that is not healthy here. It is something that is addictive, something that is obsessive, but it's not healthy. We have the Nine of Pentacles and the Coffin. So there has to be an end to that negative cycle for you to be in the Nine of Pentacles, be in a place where you're receptive to actually receiving the Ten of Pentacles. But the reason why there is a coffin here is because there needs to be an end. And I don't doubt that this is hard to walk away from because there's so much passion, but there's also naivety, and that naivety is keeping you caught. We have Seven of Swords and the Letter. I feel like sometimes you're also not being told things that are absolutely true, which keep you stuck. So let's talk about the Temperance card, which is like a harmonious relationship. And again, it looks like that harmonious relationship is what's going to give you the test of what'll last the test of time. But the harmonious relationship, your luck is going to be found in a harmonious relationship in which you're both putting in the same amount of practical work. You're both balancing the scales with each other. So this is a balance card, this is a balance card. This is a card of, grief and loss, but needing to refocus it so that you can focus on what still can be good for you. And again, I have a brand new beginning. I feel like something about this communication between the two of you has not been honest, and that also has kept you a little bit stuck here. But whatever is going to give you the Ten of Pentacles is going to be something that is straightforward and clear. It's going to be something where there is harmony between you and this person, not just endless drama. And this is what's going to be for your luck, for your highest and best. But in order for you to be in a place of complete self-worth, there's an ending that has to happen. So I think that this one, should you move on and find somebody else, I think for your highest and best good to get a Ten of Pentacles, to have peace in a relationship, yes, you should move on. Should anything more about whether they should move on? Anything more? I'm going to get some oracle cards. Should they move on and find somebody else? Loss. Sometimes you learn true offering through loss. You make a passionate invitation to love, for love to take over and bring her own plan instead of the ego's. So again, there is this grief, there is this sense of loss, but loss doesn't mean that everything is lost. Sometimes you are losing something that is best for you to be lost, but you don't have all the information. You don't know the peace that you will find. So this is why it's not trying to get what the ego wants, but letting the universe give you what you deserve, which is, you know, love and peace, and somebody who puts in just as much energy and effort that you as you do. Falling, drop in to the deep end of your soul. Can I get some clarity on this falling card? This could obviously be falling in love, but we have the 9 of Swords. So I think that when going deep inside, there might be a lot of anxiety, there might be a lot of fear, there might be a lot of sleepless nights, there might be a lot of anxiety. But I don't think you necessarily need to fear your own depths. I don't know if maybe there's some fear of like falling in love with somebody. It doesn't feel like that. I feel like, because we have the ego here, we have falling and we have the thing. I feel like there's an aspect of you that's really scared of losing control. Just releasing and maybe trusting that the universe will give you something that, you know, is good for you. Something that is good luck for you. Something that is generous to you. So it does look like, you know, it's hard for you to not pay attention to the loss, even though there's a new beginning coming from you. And it's hard for you to just release and let the universe give you the good luck that you deserve. Don't hold back or bow down to anyone. Hold your head high. Walk in the light. This person, I don't know why you need to be told not to bow down, but this person is not better than you. You're not unworthy of receiving real generosity and luck. And sometimes losing is simply losing something that wasn't meant to be there. This is like letting the divine have a plan for you. Letting love have a plan for you and releasing what isn't love. And it does feel like there's a lot of attachment here. But none of it healthy. So, should you move on and find somebody else? Tara, protection. I feel like there's a need to protect yourself. That if this person is not, you know, protecting you, your heart, your feelings, are you trying to be a protector of this person? I feel like there is a small subsection of people who are trying to be a protection to this person, that it's not healthy for them. But I feel like for most of you, this is just a call for you to protect yourself, to be in your power and self-worth, and let something end. If this person does not protect you with their actions, with their kindness, like if they don't treat you with kindness, like you need to protect you. And we have, there's only 52 cards here, and there's over 70 in the tarot deck, so sometimes these can be mixed up between the Jack or the Page. Now the Page would be observing the situation with your emotions out of the picture, and the Knight would be taking action on some kind of logical thing. So I think that there may be a need to witness, like, you know, that you have an attachment to this person, but does that attachment protect you? Because if not, there's a need to really just make sure that you pay attention, that you don't ignore that, and also that you take action on that, because should you move on or find somebody else? We have, there's an opportunity for you to have a steady, stable, reliable relationship that still nurtures you and offers you passion. So you can, like, this person does offer you passion, but you can have nurturing, and you can have somebody that you can just depend on. So it does look like this particular reading is indicating that you probably should move on, because the connection that you have with this person is not healthy. That it's very strong. It might even be obsessive. But what it isn't is healthy, and you shouldn't hold back your light for anyone. You shouldn't bow your head. You shouldn't, you know, have to pretend to be less. You truly aren't. So I hope that that helped you. If you do want a free reading, I'm giving away 2 as soon as I hit 10,000 subscribers. So if you want to be a part of that, just make sure that you are subscribed and you comment. And thank you to everybody who's been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and booking readings. It all matters, and I deeply appreciate you. So my gorgeous pile number 2s. How are they feeling? No, I'm sorry. Been doing too many of those. Should you move on and find somebody else? Should you move on and find someone else? Pile number 2. We have Knight of Swords, which is taking some kind of action, taking some kind of fast action. There could be some kind of hasty action. We have the Magician, which is having all the tools necessary to make what you want happen, a new beginning. We have the 3 of Wands, and the 3 of Wands is looking to the kind of future that you want. These are all both manifestation cards. This can often be considered a waiting card, because, like, you've made a decision, you've taken the first action, and you're waiting for things, waiting for your ship to come in. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. So, with the Magician being the strongest card there, you have all the tools necessary to gain what you want, and you need to be able to focus on what you want in the long term. So I think when you're relating on should you move on, if this person doesn't change in any way, do they fit in for what your long term is? Because you're in charge here. You're the Magician. There is a need to take action on what is practical. There is a need to take action on what is logical. There's a need to have an eye for what you want in the future. Because if you absolutely do that, you will receive what you want. I think more your issue is, does this person fit in with that future? Instead of trying to crowbar somebody into that future. So, Should you move on and find somebody else? There is a need to move on to calmer waters. Move away from, people who are very inconsiderate of others. Because the Six of Swords is often walking away from the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is really creating a lot of scenarios where nobody wins. Where there is sabotage or self-sabotage or, somebody who's not really considering how badly what their actions are going to affect somebody else. They're trying to win at any cost. So there is a need. This is not talking about a specific person so much as if there is something that's truly just dramatic, you should move on to calmer waters. Because it looks like there's a possible, family here. There's a possible ability for there to be calmness and peace and really just have a situation where everybody gets along, where, there's harmony here. So I think that there's something to be said for you having all the tools necessary, pointing yourself towards harmony and moving forward away from non-harmonious relationships. This doesn't mean that you can never have a conflict with somebody, but there's a difference between a conflict that is constructive and a conflict that is all about putting everything on the other person and never taking any responsibility for what that other person has done. You're going to have conflicts if you're close, but sometimes you'll be using those conflicts to get closer, to say, hey, this is what I need and this is what I need, and say, we could make that work, instead of trying to win at the expense of another person. So we have the Five of Cups. So we have the Three of Wands clarified by the Five of Cups. Now the Five of Cups is feeling like all is lost. Everything is not lost, but everything feels like it's lost. There is a silver lining, but there is also a need to refocus in order to achieve that silver lining. The traditional one of these cards has two cups that are still standing, like a Two of Cups. So I feel like it's quite possible that you're going to face some kind of loss on your way to trying to manifest what you truly want. But sometimes we lose things for a reason. Sometimes we lose things because it couldn't stand, or it couldn't give us what we want, like this level of harmony, peace, family. So we have the Knight of Swords twice, and this is clarifying the Knight of Pentacles. So you're being asked to take some kind of action, because all knights are action cards. Even the Knight of Pentacles moves. The Knight of Pentacles simply has a plan. So they might not move as fast as the Knight of Thought, because obviously our thoughts move more than our actions do sometimes, or our practical plans do. But you should be being logical and practical, because I think on some level you know what you want, and you're able to manifest that. And you need to move away from situations that aren't fair to you. Should you move on and find someone else? Four of Cups. You especially need to move on from situations where people just aren't in a place where they want love, not in a place where they're willing to give love, in a place where they're rejecting your love and affection. I'm just really truly getting, don't be afraid to walk away from that. Because if somebody is in a place where they're going to reject love, that's a good indication that you should move on. Clarity on the Temperance card. We have the 5 of Cups. I feel like there's a sense of loss. 5 of Cups has come up twice, and it's hard to move away from that sense of loss. And again, like, there is, and the 4 of Cups leads to the 5 of Cups, leads to there being a loss because somebody is unwilling to receive or give love. But your future is not completely dependent on somebody else. You have all the tools necessary to receive what you want, to manifest what you want. So I feel like, don't be afraid to move away from people who reject you. Don't be afraid to look at, I feel like you just might be caught in the grieving process. And it does look like with the 8 of Wands, like you should be pulling all of your energy and effort towards the future that you want, while maybe releasing the person who doesn't want to receive or give affection as being that person. It's almost like if somebody is not in a place where they are going to receive or give love, they're not what is going to create the future that you want to have. So I think once you are able to get through the grieving process, you're going to be able to move with a lot of passion and speed towards the kind of future that you want to have. Because this is a moving action card, action card, action card. It's like you're being asked to take action towards your future, towards the future you want to manifest, and maybe have to just deal with the fear. You have less fear than some of the other piles, but you're dealing with some grief, and that's understandable. But with the Queen of Pentacles, like, you deserve somebody that is on par with you. You deserve somebody who will want to do the practical things with you, that will want to have a real relationship with you. Whether you are the Queen of Pentacles or you are looking for the Queen of Pentacles, like, this is something that you can't have. But that you have to be like, having a plan to move towards somebody that's going to show up for you as much as you show up for them. Somebody that you're going to have a really official relationship with, because the Queen and King of Pentacles, King hasn't shown up yet, but like, both of them are people who commit. Should you move on and find someone else? We have, let the hard times be a lesson. If things have been unnecessarily hard, you're supposed to learn something from that. Like, if this person doesn't want to be part of your very successful future, let somebody who will be harmonious with it come in. Creative luck. Now, I think that you're going to receive some kind of luck, or you are receiving some luck, but I feel like there's some aspect of the creativity that I'm going to have to get a little more clarity on. We have bathroom. Flush away all that no longer serves you. And we also have that on top of the 5 of Cups. 3 cups have fallen over, but not everything is lost. The 2 of Cups is not lost. a reciprocating relationship is not lost. It's simply the Three of Cups. So I feel like this particular reading is for somebody that needs to decide whether somebody was just there in their life for a season, or somebody worth, building the whole thing with that person. Because if this relationship, if it's just endlessly hard, and and it's okay, it's okay to grieve things, but I think that you need to think about what you want in your future, and I doubt what you want in your future is continued rejection by somebody who's just not in a place to receive or give. So I feel like there's some kind of lesson to be learned from this connection. If only it's like, when to cut losses. And releasing, what did I say? I said the King and the Queen of Pentacles. It wasn't out, but we have the King and Queen, and the Page of and the Knight of Pentacles is right behind them. Like, if you want somebody who is super committed, you have to have that objective. Be like, you're going to attract that into your life, but you need to release what isn't that. And you need to learn the lessons from whatever this connection showed you, even if this connection only showed you what not to put up with. I was meaning to take from this one, but I took from that instead, but I'm glad, because now we have the King. So one reason why you should, it's not necessarily, it's like, should you move on and find someone else? Like, you should move forward, because moving forward is what's going to get you what you want. Moving forward is going to get you somebody that is an ideal connection, an ideal mate for you. Somebody who is, going to put in the same kind of commitment that you will. Humility. Allow me, divine, to always accept the right assistance. I welcome your help in every way and delight in receiving it. You deserve to receive, and it looks like you are going to receive a relationship with somebody who wants what you want and who gives you what you need. But with humility, you need to be in a place to accept it, and you also need to be in a place where you release what isn't that, so you can move towards what is. So I think the universe is asking you to let them help you. So we have the Rat. We have a lot of charms this time. We have the Rat and we have the Death charm. So if somebody is sneaky, if somebody is, if somebody is sneaky, and there needs to be a death to the situation. I mean, obviously, may people all live long, but there needs to be an ending and a transition. And part of this is letting that kind of stuff go, and letting the people who insist on acting like that go. Because you're going to be able to move forward emotionally. It's almost like maybe some other people are going to be able to move forward emotionally with you, because that wasn't the small boat, that was a big boat. And we have the water, which is the emotions, but it's also what's underneath the surface. So I feel like maybe there's something in this situation that, might give you some kind of creative, who knows, maybe you'll write an amazing breakup song or something like that. I think that there is some kind of creative aspect here. I think that there's a need to see what is going on below the surface with yourself. And, at some point accept that you don't know everything, but the universe wants to give you what you deserve. And I think you're going to, I know this is going to sound weird, but it looks like with creative luck, I feel like there's something about the situation that you've gone through that has maybe tapped into the Queen of Cups, whatever your actual gender is. The Queen of Cups inside something that is emotionally open, available, loving, but still mature. And I feel like that part of you is going to be, it's going to create luck for you. And I think it might create luck for you in creativity. We have the watering can, like a need to be nurtured. And we have the tree frog. And the tree frog is something that holds on to something. So the question is, will what you're holding on to get you where you want to go? Because you're already manifesting your future. And you should think about, what do you want your future to be like? Because the universe is going to iron out the details. But the universe isn't going to change fundamentally another person. The universe can only let you move you to somebody who's, not in a place that's emotionally rejecting. Move you to somebody that is actually compatible with you. But sometimes we hold on to things, we get very attached to things, and we need to release them. And it's not that there's anything horrible about somebody if maybe they're not meant to be in our lives forever. But sometimes we're trying to make people who maybe, weren't meant to be there forever, be there forever. Maybe not in a place to open up emotionally the way that we actually truly deserve. And we keep holding space for them. But really, you just deserve to have an open heart, but not as much sorrow. Because, the right match where you're just absolutely on the same page is out there for you. You just need to accept that you might need the universe's assistance in making it happen. And maybe the manifestation is absolutely up to you, but how it's going to happen is not necessarily up to you. So I feel like you should concentrate on slow and steady, like what's going to bring you towards your goal, but you deserve to be nurtured, and there should be a, nurture on both sides of a relationship. We have rebirth. So even though the Five of Cups keeps showing up here, there's once you're able to get out of that grief, there's going to be a rebirth for you. We have the shell, which is beauty. We have the letter D, which I can do correctly. And we have the little black heart. What about the little black heart? Three of Swords. So there may have been some kind of heartbreak that has led to maybe a diminishing of the heart space. But I think that the creative luck is with the Queen of Cups, with, being emotional, but, being intelligent with your emotions. So I think that whatever aspect, it does seem like there's definitely some pain here with that Five of Cups coming over and over again, but I feel like there is a couple here that is the right couple, the one that is really truly on the same page. So don't I mean, take the lesson, let go of what doesn't serve, let the universe give you what you want. And I figure rather than focusing on a person, focus on what you want. Because I think that if you focus on what you want, the right person is going to be given. Like, they're going to show up. And it's not going to be so hard because that person's going to be on the same page about what they want. You're just going to want the same thing. So with this, should you move on and find someone new? Well, if this person is acting in a way that's rejecting to you, yes. If this person is because in the very odd eventuality that maybe this person who wants the same things is this person, they have to be giving you what you deserve, and they can't be not in a place where they're willing to give and receive. So I think that you just need to focus your energy on the kind of future that you want, the kind of love that you want. Release what isn't that. Stop trying to make anybody that. Just if somebody isn't, open-hearted towards you, they're not your person. And if they choose to open their heart, then, they would have to do the absolute practical steps anyways. But I feel like for most of you, should you move on and find somebody else, I think in this case, there's a strong guidance for you to think about what kind of future that you want. Because the right kind of person is going to show up for you. And you also need to move away from what isn't that. Because staying with what isn't love, what isn't the future that you want to have, is staying away from that future. So I hope that helped. If you do want a free reading, I'm giving away 2 as soon as I hit 10,000 subscribers. Just be subscribed and comment if you want to be in the running for that. I want to say thank you to everybody who has been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and booking readings, because it all matters and I really appreciate it. So, my gorgeous pile number 3s. Should you move on? And find someone else? Pile number 3, should you move on and find someone else? We have the 9, nope, I'm sorry, I thought it was the 9. It is the 6 of Cups. So, we have true love, innocence, friendship. We have the 3 of Pentacles. Building something together that is bigger than what either of you could build independently. We have the Hanged Man. Some kind of necessary, I feel like some kind of necessary realization for things to move forward. And we have the 8 of Cups and the Moon. So I think that there is love within the connection that you're in. I feel like there is a capacity to build something bigger than either of you could do independently, but there is this fear. And there is this having to walk away from things that are unfulfilling. We have a Hanged Man. So this one's a little bit more concentrate. This one's a little bit more complicated. Because there is the love, there is this potential for cooperation. There is like this, there is a block. Some kind of realization that is a block between the two of you. Some kind of realization where if that realization happens and things can move forward, and if that realization doesn't happen, then somebody is just going to have to move forward. Like, either the relationship can move forward together or apart. And it really has to do with these fears. So we're going to start there. Clarity on the moon. We have the Seven of Cups. Moon is often an illusion card. Seven of Cups is also an illusion card. And the Tree. One or both of you has some kind of illusion that absolutely needs to be healed if there is going to be any progress in this relationship. And there could be somebody in this connection that is like truly like no matter... It might be very difficult dealing with this person if you can't decide on what the same reality is. Because the Seven of Cups, it's like, like the Ace of Cups is there, but you need to know how to choose it. You need to know what will even be good for you. And the Moon, it's illusion, like, how can you tell the difference between friend and foe? How can you tell the difference between... It's like there's this fear and illusion, and it's like everything's not as clear. So I feel like part of what could potentially move this relationship forward into something that isn't in complete stagnation, because it's not a lack of caring. I feel like there's caring on both sides, but like if there's no action, at some point somebody's going to have to walk away. And there's at least one person who's holding on to some illusions. It's like this person, like, it doesn't matter how awesome one person is if the other person just is so deep in their own subconscious stuff that they wouldn't know the best thing for them if it was right in front of them. So this is a little bit more of a difficult situation, because it looks like there is something that's caught in stagnation here. Something that there could be some kind of... It's like there needs to be an aha moment. There needs to be a moment of clarity. And we have the... We're going to say it's the Knight of Pentacles, because it could be the Knight or the Page. The Page would be like communicating the truth. I'm going to say Knight of Pentacles because I feel like there needs to be some kind of practical action. And in order for there to be some kind of practical action, this hanging in limbo needs to stop. Also, I believe it's the 10. 10 is the ending and the beginning. So I feel like whatever has happened in this situation has been so slow. And there is at least one person in this connection that is so deeply caught up in illusion, and that is something that needs to be healed. With the Six of Cups, though, Queen of Cups and the Stork. Now, the Stork, I feel like that can be like good news, new news. For some of you, I mean, it could be a child. It's not necessarily for everybody, but I do think that there is love on both sides, and we have one person that has been exceptionally emotionally open. That has been, like, you know, giving some kind of good news. But I think that this has been the crux of things. kind of a zero action kind of thing, because it does look like there is caring on both sides. It does look like there is one person that is emotionally mature and open and giving and loving, and we have another person who is so profoundly, deeply in their fears and really needs to heal that, because otherwise they, no matter how lovely the love that they are being given is, like, they can't even recognize it for what it is. We have the Three of Pentacles, and we have the Cloud, and we have with the King of Wands. So I feel like there is somebody that has the power to move everything forward, and this is an illusion card, and they're so deep in their confusion and illusions that they actually have to be the one that moves things forward. Possibly because maybe the person who's been open and caring has literally done everything they could do. But it looks like this relationship, like, there are things where there could be blessings here. There are things where there could be generosity here. But there is one person that is being so extraordinarily obstructive because of the fears they have, because of the illusions that they have. And until that person gains some kind of focus, and then there was the Eight of Cups, where it's just emotionally walking away from what's not fulfilling. And we have the Page of Swords and the Child. So it's quite possible that you might be dealing with somebody with some maybe childhood trauma, who maybe can't truly recognize the love that is being given for what it is. So this one's a little bit more complicated, because the other two are like, yeah, you should probably move on. The first one was definitely move on. The other one is like, think about what your long term is. Does this person actually fit in with what you really want? This one is like, there is love between you. There's a chance for you guys to build something together. But there is somebody who is so deeply like this. There's somebody who so deeply needs to come to a realization for anything to happen here. And unfortunately, no matter how open and loving one partner is, as long as this person has some really, really strong unhealed wounds, this person won't be able to see the situation clearly. So it's rough, because until this King of Wands, this person who has the power to bring things forward but cannot see what's in front of their face, until the person can see what's in front of their face, until that person can decipher, what is emotionally even good for them, until this person can, pay more attention to what is in front of them than the demons that are in their own fear, you're dealing with stagnation. So this is a little bit more of a judgment call. I don't know if this person, like, this is a situation where it's like, it's not you that you, like, this person can save themselves. This person, in some cases, maybe should seek out some kind of help to do that. And it's not a lack of love, but I feel like there's one person that's incredibly giving, and there's another person who just so so deeply needs to get out of their way. They need to have this moment of reality. And they're not in the same reality. I feel like in the event that this person can ever like see things from a different perspective and you know, aren't so stuck into the illusions that they have, I think that this person would absolutely move forward with you and have a new relationship with you. But this, I feel like what's stagnating is that this person needs to do some spiritual and mental work. Maybe even seek out some kind of therapy. So, I think, like, if this person, you know, see the light, you know, change their perspective, I feel like there is a chance that there could be success here. But as long as this person's head is not on straight, as long as this person is perpetually head in the clouds, eyes closed, heart, you know, so this one is rough because there could be real success that you could have with this person. There could be a new beginning with this person, but this person is really strongly caught up in like their headspace not being clear, their emotions not being clear, their, you know, this person really stops themselves. Be conscious of the life you choose to lead. So I think that you need to make a judgment call. Is it worth waiting for this person if this person, you know, never does the work and always keeps you in limbo? And who knows, maybe this person could get a reality check if your conscience on, you know, leading the life you want to lead, and then maybe realizing that staying on the fence consistently doesn't get them anything. But I wouldn't just move on because of that. I would simply be, is how you're living how you want to be living? Is the relationship as it is this how you want things to be? Reframe, this is happening for me, not to me. Some of this might be reframing for you. Some of this is reframing for them, because one of the first things that came out is the Hanged Man, a need to see things from a different perspective. Like, this person kind of needs to reframe their experience. So that they can, you know, make healthy choices. So they're not. We've got communication. Okay, so with communication, it's sometimes easier said than done, because some people, you know, close off communication. But if there is an availability for you to be in communication with this person, I feel like there's a need to maybe tell them what you want and need. Yeah, 3 of Cups. And we've got, with the 3 of Cups. Now, the 3 of Cups sometimes is a third party. It's not always. What I'm getting is maybe the communication is not necessarily being taken seriously. You might very well be, you know, telling them that, you know, if things don't get better, you have to move on, but they might not be taking that seriously. Even though, like, it does feel like there is caring on this part. Like, the other 2 readings before, they didn't have a lot of love cards. So I think that there might be some communication that's happening that isn't being taken seriously, or maybe somebody isn't taking seriously how important communication is. Wisdom. So wisdom is learning from experience. So I think that there is a need to, take whatever gifts you can from this situation to make sure that you're learning from experience and, being, intelligent and strategic, also goddess of war. Learn how to be a good listener. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. So, again, this is another communication thing. Are you actually listening to each other? Are you just kind of ignoring and waiting for your turn to talk? Is this person doing that? So with the Nine of Pentacles is being strong, secure by yourself. And it doesn't mean that you have to be by yourself. It is simply mean that your strength and security isn't dependent on someone else. So this one is more complicated than the other ones as to whether you move on, because there really is love. There really is an ability to work together and make something greater. And there is a chance for things to work out here. But you should not compromise yourself, and you should really be listening to what is being said. And because, there's a problem if one person is not taking another person's communication seriously. I mean, you might not be taking, maybe if they have said that they don't want a commitment, maybe you haven't taken that seriously. Or, and again, it's not that you shouldn't want a commitment, but you should be listening to what the other person says. So we have the letter I and the letter Z. That's all the letters. So we have two gears and a connection. I feel like you guys do have a connection. I do feel like there's an ability to make something bigger, than either of you could make separately together. But somebody's got to reframe, have some kind of reality check for that to happen. It can't happen without another person, without both people deciding that that's what they want. So you definitely, if this is if continuing on with this is taking away from your value, then you should definitely consider singleness then. If nothing else, maybe that'll give this person an opportunity to reframe and say, maybe listening to my fears to this extent is not actually getting me what I want. But I figure, leave because you need to, not because, I told you to. We have the martini, which can be having a good time, a celebration, like the Three of Cups can be, but also consider what is healthy. Consider whether this is something that's healthy. We have the pyramid, so there's an ability to grow, become a better person. There's a chance for growth here. And we have the Yoda in the heart. Now, Yoda, if we think of love like the Force, So a thing that connects us all, a thing that, you know, can give us strength, a thing that our own intelligence can have some kind of wisdom about. And again, manifest some kind of love for ourselves. So I think that there's something to be said for being wise in your love. And it does feel like there is love here. It's more of a confusing thing for that reason. We have the core issue. So there is some kind of core issue. And I feel like there is one person who's just not working on the same reality as another person is. So that seems to be a core issue. We have it looks like there's been a lot of twists and turns, that the love here is still very beautiful, but it does feel like it's probably been a long time, a lot of twists and turns. We have sister, hermana. Let's talk about that. Jack of Swords. There could be a family member who's been making some kind of observations. Maybe their family member, for some of them, like there's a family member who keeps on making some kind of observations. Maybe somebody that is younger than this person. So I feel like this person, you know, might be being exposed to some kind of truth. It's just, can this person actually change their perspective? Because it just seems like there's one person here who's been giving a lot of good news, showing a lot of nurturing. There might be some, you know, there's a need to really be conscious if, you know, because realize the choices that you make, are you choosing the kind of life you want to live? And make sure that you're actually listening. Or note if this person is not actually listening. I mean, since there's a lot of illusion, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of confusion. So there is a chance that there could be still something good here, but but they have to figure out what they want. They can't constantly forever be, I don't know what I want, not moving anything forward. That's unfortunately is going to lead to an end. You know, and often, like, maybe you have to listen to this person because maybe this person is, you know, bringing up what their genuine fears are. And unfortunately, our fears don't need to be logical. But we might want to actually be paying attention to what they are. So this could be successful depending on what this person chooses to do, whether this person has some kind of realization, but you should still be choosing your own self-worth. Because who knows, maybe the thing that this person needed to have a self-realization is, you know, having to do with the consequences of just not doing it. So I hope that helped. I deeply appreciate you as always. If you do want a free reading, I'm giving away 2 as soon as I hit 10,000 subscribers. So just be subscribed and comment, and you're in the running for that. Thank you to everybody who's been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and booking readings. And it's time for our gorgeous pile number 4. Should you move on and find someone else? We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Wands. I'm leaning towards a yes so far, because it seems like somebody who knows what they want and something that's no longer serving them. We have the Four of Pentacles, which is, either holding on too tight or holding back too much. And the Nine of Wands. So, sometimes people act in the Four of Pentacles when they think that they're being the King or Queen of Pentacles. And I feel like there's somebody with genuine generosity and, you know, kind of strengthen who they are, and somebody who doesn't want to let go but doesn't want to open up. And it looks like there is just the end, you know, like, I feel like this blocking energy has made the other person, like, really be at the end of, you know, the end of being able to fight for this. And the Ten of Wands is like dropping what doesn't serve you. So it does look like somebody has been, looks like there's somebody who's been really generous, and there's somebody who has really not been, and it's come to a point where no matter what your past, how much you could have worked together, the fact that, you know, this one person just won't. And we have the Nine of Pentacles. So this is unfortunately a case where, because somebody was, you know, just holding back so much, just really greedy, not really giving in the relationship, you know, like a miser. Unfortunately, it means that the person who is generous and is walking away with that, away from that, is going to be better off without this person. Because this only leads to heartbreak. So basically, somebody did not give in this relationship until there was heartbreak. Until the other person had to let go for self-preservation. This could be standing up for yourself, but I feel like one person here is at the end of their rope, and, you know, ultimately is going to be better off without the other person. But the person who was so stingy that they caused the heartbreak to begin with, they're defensive about it. Yeah, I feel like they're defensive, like almost like they're pretending. I don't know if they're pretending so much as maybe needing to rewrite it in their brain as like they were just defending themselves, except they really weren't. And it's like you almost like them like fighting you until you just had to give up. Dealing with them is somehow responsible instead of, you know, them never opening up. Clarity on the Queen of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is the investment put in. So I feel like there was one person in this party who invested in the other for the future, and one who was no give. And the person who invested in here, in this relationship, is going to simply move that investment to themselves. Because it's not worth the fight anymore. And I'm not sure if the other person learned a lesson. They just blocked and blocked until there was heartbreak. So, should you move on and find someone else? I feel like for most of you, just in order to protect yourselves from just, had to eventually let go, drop the burden, because unfortunately this person was literally not investing anything here. I feel like they almost feel like you did something wrong by no longer investing, but like they were not investing and fighting the whole time, and it absolutely led to the heartbreak between and the other person just got tired of fighting for getting nothing. So I feel like there's one person who put in a lot more investment, somebody who is ready for a relationship, somebody who is going to release what is gone on so that they invest back in themselves. Let's talk about finding someone new, because it feels like this person almost gave the other person no other choice. That's not how they see it, but that's really what they did. So, finding someone else. We have the Knight of Cups, moving forward emotionally, receiving some kind of romance, Queen of Wands, being in a place of agency and power and strength and going after what you actually want. 9 of Pentacles again. It feels like there might be a little bit of time of, pursuing what you're passionate about, really investing in yourself. It does look like you're going to be moving towards some kind of romance, but mostly like ending negative cycles. So if you feel bad, you shouldn't. Unless you're somebody who blocked some love and blocked love and blocked love until that person no longer was willing to put any of the work in. And at that point, just need to learn so you can do better in the future. But it looks like there's an end to some kind of negative cycle that, somebody who's really in their own agency, looking, very attractive, moving forward emotionally. So we have the World. So the World is the best possible ending. Graduating, learning your lessons, moving on to better and best. So it looks like this pile, you're definitely going to experience a new chapter in love. A new chapter moving forward emotionally. That's too many. Let the hard times be a lesson. I feel like there's some kind of lesson that you're going to have learned through this. If only just never invest in someone who's not investing back in you. Gratitude. We have that on top of the 9 of Pentacles. And, the 9 of Pentacles is often a beautiful lady in a garden. We also have the butterflies, which is transformation. I think that this is simply like you're going to have a new chapter. You've ended some kind of really negative cycle. There's something to be learned from this, but I feel like there's blessings ahead of you. Should you move on and find someone else? Food, eating. Be mindful of the thoughts that you are ingesting. I feel like be mindful of the thoughts that you're ingesting. And maybe even be mindful of, you know, what you are eating, what you are drinking. But more importantly, like, maybe be mindful of, you know, the people you allow in your life. Because what is it? Is it nourishing to you? Because it looks like with all the abundance that you are, you kind of weren't receiving abundance, and you deserve to be. So 2 of Wands, I feel like you're at a crossroads with how you choose or what you choose to do, how you move forward, but you're still moving forward because you've ended something that wasn't healthy. And sorry, I got hair stuck in there. We have the fortune teller. So you get to dictate what you want your future to be. You have the tools necessary to make it happen. Clarity on let the hard times be a lesson. We have the 6 of Swords and the Tower. So, what is unstable? I feel like you learned through this what is unstable. And I think what you're going to be able to learn is to walk away from things and situations that are ultimately going to be unstable. You know, I think you, at the very least, probably learned some red flags. But in the meantime, you are looking beautiful. You're being very fiery, very attractive. I think the question is, what do you want? And make a decision on like how you're going to move forward towards that. We have the 10 of Wands and the Bear. And we have that new beginning right there. So I feel like you have demonstrated great strength. And the 10 of Wands is just, you know, it's a heavy burden. And I feel like maybe you were, for a very long time, carrying a very heavy burden. And you were very capable of this because you are very strong. But I feel like this is an end where it's kind of difficult. This is an end where, like, the best possible scenario. And it's like, I think that you kind of need to know that the kind of future that you want is open to you, and you just need to decide what you want. And you do need to like not forget the lessons that you learned so that you can walk away from inherently unstable situations, like people who, for some reason, no matter how generous you are just not the same way. But so I've got, you know, Yoda in the heart. So Yoda is wise. And I think that you've gained a lot of wisdom in your heart. We have the letter V and the letter D. And so I feel like there's been an end of a cycle. I feel like you had one person who was really, truly not giving, really, truly, profoundly defensive. And I think they were defensive up to the point where the heartbreak happened, and you might not have been willing to just fight for things anymore, because no matter how much you invested in this person, this couldn't allow anything to grow. So I feel like there's investing in yourself, a brand new beginning, a need to learn from this, but also realize that your entire future isn't completely laid out. You have the ability to make what you want happen. And I think that for this pile in particular, you're being asked to say, yes, what do you want? Because that's what you, I think you ended a cycle with somebody who just wasn't going to open up, wasn't going to give, wasn't going to be fair, who tired you out. And there was obviously heartbreak here as well. But, that's not what your future needs to be. I feel like you were extraordinarily strong. You're looking at a new beginning, and you just need to focus on what kind of new beginning that you want. Because you absolutely have the ability to make it happen, and you should be considering what you're eating, what thoughts you're having, who you're allowing in your life. And I think that it's just important to have... I feel like Spirit has a lot of respect for you, and I feel like, it can be a little bit... it seems like it was it was a rough situation, but you came in and showed the entire time the royalty within you, the Queen of Pentacles, this person that would not be and we have the World, which is ending of negative cycles. We have ending of negative cycles and a new beginning. The only thing that you need to decide is what kind of new beginning you want, because it's not completely written in stone. It's like you have some kind of power over this. But I feel like you showed self-value, you showed confidence, you acted in a way that was abundant, is in a place if you want to have a very healthy relationship, you absolutely can have that, because you bring in healthy relationship things. You need to decide what you want, while at the same time investing in yourself. I feel like you're in a place where you're probably pretty secure in who you are. And I feel like maybe in order to have a new beginning with somebody else, they're going to have to be in a place where, they actually add something to your experience of life. This is not about having somebody fulfill everything within your life. It's you've already set the stage. You're already bringing this amazing relationship person to bear. And it's dependent on the right offer, or even if that's what you want. But you do have to, so I figure as long as you just learn the lesson from dealing with somebody who was very ungiving, and be selective about the people and situations you had in your life, you can have what you want, just decide what you want. I'm repeating, so I'm going to let you go. I deeply appreciate you. If you do want a free reading, I'm giving away 2 as soon as I hit 10,000 subscribers. Just make sure that you are subscribed and you comment and you're in the running for that. Thank you so much. I deeply appreciate you. And also anybody who likes, shares, subscribes, comments, and books readings. It all matters. Thank you.